Okay, so for our next topic, we'll move more from the personal aspect of yourself to your surroundings. So let's look at recent news, something that you've kind of noticed or caught your attention, anything that's kind of stood out as of recently in the news?
Yes, I watch the YouTube very much.
Yeah.
Not TV anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, and in the channel I registered is I don't know, like 1,000.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of different types of videos.
Yes.
Nice.
And of course, my hobby is cooking. So Food Network.
Nice.
It's the one of the hottest. Like every weekend I'm watching.
Okay.
And recently, more like the news, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, the topic I care recently is one Japanese man established a new political party. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe I don't know. I can say it openly or not, and it's very interesting.
Okay.
It's more like very open-minded,
Okay.
and then his strategy is very interesting.
Okay.
Because he's gathering. No strict rules in a political party, and then they are like apply. They are expecting to application by taking a test.
Interesting.
It's very rare, the
Yeah.
political party, and then the candidate is going to take the test.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you know if this is based in Kanto and like Tokyo?
Tokyo.
It's
Yes.
based in Tokyo?
Yes.
Interesting. Nice. Interesting. So let's look more at the first one you answered. So cuisine. So is there like do you kind of give yourself a goal of once a week you try a new dish? You mentioned French cuisine. Is there anything French cuisine usually like more like darker meats, right?
Yes.
I
mean, why?
Yeah.
The reason
Yeah.
I come up with this idea is like French, like I same as Japanese. It's more like art, like
yep.
presentation on the dish,
Yeah.
and then you care about how you want to make this dish look like.
Right.
So I like I'm eating like more like decorating the dish. So that's why I like it.
I see.
Of course, I like eating.
Right.
But it's kind of I can't eat this beautiful decoration.
Right. It's very appealing.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that is one thing that Japanese and French cuisine share is the element of appeal.
Yeah.
Of how they present everything, and usually very fine details, which
Exactly.
is very nice.
Yeah. So when I was going to the cooking school, like one of the things I couldn't do I couldn't do was the presentation. I'm not good at it. So that's why I want to study. That's the category. That's one of the I want to study
Nice.
about.
So it's something that it's a goal that you've kind of given yourself. Very nice.
If you go to the restaurant, everything is beautiful, right?
Yeah,
And how
absolutely.
can you do it?
Yeah. I've always wondered that too, and I guess like culinary arts, you really have to be fully in it, or there's no point, right? You really have to give in your heart and soul. So a lot of businesses are like that, but I think French cuisine and Japanese cuisine as well are very much meticulous with specific details.
Very detailed.
Very detail orientated. Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else? Any other type of YouTube channels that you've kind of been watching recently?
Yeah. Recently, I am watching like a political one.
Okay.
But because for my just references, and because it's not like I'm going to be the politician. No, I just want to see like how Japanese politic area is going to towards to like a change. I'm just curious. That's it.
I see. And just a small question are you referring more to like a federal government, or is it more of like the Tokyo government, or what type of like Japan as a whole?
Yeah,
is
because
what you're
I
looking
grew up in Tatebayashi in Gunma Prefecture,
Right.
and then compared to Tokyo, it's a political like a governance and everything. It's so much different.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why each city have the different culture. That is because of the top mind.
Yeah.
So that the whomever who can be the top of the organization have to have I don't want to say skill, but they have to have a kind of mind to be successful, to make this city success. So I've been thinking all the time for this, how the governance of each area can be improved.
I see. And do you focus, or when you pay attention to these things, is it more of the Gunma side, since that's where you're from, or is it looking more at it from Tokyo, or kind of both?
I see both.
Both?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, they're not too far apart, are they?
No,
Gunma and
just
Tokyo, right?
1 hour driving.
I see. So fair enough. Nice. And maybe last question: what would you say you're hopeful for in the future for Japanese politics as a federal review? So like the whole country itself. Is there a direction that you think?
My hope.
Yeah. Something that you would kind of hope for in the future. For example, like the yen is still very weak. Do you think that's something that can bounce back, or or obviously we're hopeful for that. Is there anything else that you would kind of like for Japan to kind of move in a certain direction to?
Yes, I really want them to change the culture. I mean, I'm not talking about the traditional culture, the kimono or traditional food, or that. I'm not talking about that kind of things. The culture or mind, the Japan haven't had any innovation for a decade. Why is that? Why Japan is so closed country, and then why Japan is still in the box? We have to open up the mind, and then we have to build a culture. Everyone can speak whatever they want. If I speak up, I'm gonna get attacked. That's not the culture I'm looking.
Right.
Yeah. So but innovation is very important. For the political innovation and business innovation, a product innovation, of course, all the innovation. Innovation is something a step, advanced.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking, because 50 years ago, Japan was called as a number one, but look at us, we are not number one anymore. So where are we going? It is said that we lost the 30 years, right? So where is the 30 years? What were we doing? And then what should be done better?
Right.
So we have to think in that way for the future.
Right. So basically kind of reflect on what has happened in the past 30 plus years, what could have been done better, and then how can we implement that for the future, essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yes.
I would agree. Yeah.
We have to learn from the history all the time. We have to study. There is no such okay, I've done, and I'm not gonna do a long vacation. No.
Right.
We have to keep learning.
Keep
all
progressing.
The time.
Yeah. I think that's something that I think Japan needs to work on. Is definitely maybe even an element of open-mindedness, where essentially kind of take ideas from other cultures and look at other countries and see how they've been progressing, and kind of not necessarily implement the same thing, but maybe reflect on, can we do something like this or better?
Yeah.
Right? You can look at neighboring countries like China, so I think they're doing quite well. But
because the reason I went to Boston twice, and then second one especially, I went to MBA, right? And then that is that I had a clear purpose, I have to learn something to improve my company. That's it. So that's why all the cases we do the case study, right? Yeah. And then sometimes you have to pick up the company you want to study, and I chose my company for all the case. So I studied accounting, financing, and behavior, and marketing, of course, and production, everything about Teshima.
Nice. I mean, that's probably that has helped you for sure.
Yes.
Today. Yeah, nice. Yeah, so that's something again that you had kind of a different, an alternative way of thinking. Let me go outside, get more inspiration and obviously academics, and kind of bring that back, which I think may be something that maybe the average, let's say, CEO might not necessarily consider. So I think that's something that definitely people should
you don't
look
need
into.
to put in your box. You have to be out of box.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Because there is not like that right to shrink someone's mind. No, especially the kids. Kids has a tremendously kids' mind is a universe. It's very interesting looking at the kids.
So if we were to look at it from that perspective, do you believe that the Japanese school system should also be improved?
Oh yes, of course, because the children has a different opinion and a different atmosphere and different culture. Of course, everything is different. So why don't we just stopping put all the children into the box, which is a school.
Right.
Like each kids have a different dream or different professional they want to be in the future. So the earliest stage maybe they can find that they want to be, and then they can focus on to be professional in the future. It means I'm talking about AI again. AI would be it is great if AI is going to personalize a learning program. I would say it's going to offering that service to each children.
I see. Now that's actually a really interesting idea. Do you believe that or how should that AI be implemented? Should it be in the schools, and then essentially the school curriculum and AI work together in terms of personalizing that kids?
This is the crazy opinion.
Yeah.
But I don't think there is no need for the school.
I mean,
You can break the school.
Yeah.
As long as you have an internet, you can use the rental office, this community place, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, that
Libraries.
doesn't need to be school.
I
Maybe it's okay. There is a campus,
Right.
But it's not there is no curriculum stuff.
I see.
They are offering all the YouTube
Right.
learning, internet learning, and then whenever they wanna come in, they can just go.
Interesting. Yeah, that would be an interesting perspective. Now, if let's say for some kids, I mean this is pretty common I think as well. Kids up until a certain age might not really know what they're looking to do in the future. Would you think that a regular school system would be okay for them until they kind of have a sense of purpose as to what they want to be doing in the future?
I think that school system I'm talking about is for the kids who have the clear goal.
I see.
Otherwise, okay, this is a great school. Hey, jump in.
Right.
But it's going to be lost.
No purpose.
Yes.
For sure. I see. Interesting. So kind of like two different school ideas. That's very interesting.
That's interesting. Because if you have a clear goal, you want to be increase your skill and then ability, right?
Yeah.
In that case, you can go to that kind of school.
Exactly.
But otherwise, I'm still looking for a goal or a profession I want to be, and I'm going to this generative skill.
Right.
Skill school.
Yeah, that's actually really good. I think that could help kids kind of excel at a faster rate. For example, I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to be a detective. And I think that obviously if AI and certain resources were available at our time or in our generation, maybe that would have been more reachable. So
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a
The
good point.
school should be the place, something to do. Improve your skill. It's not bullying, not attacking people. No, everyone's focused on building a skill. If everyone's thinking in that way, there is no this is a very healthy organization.
Right, because everyone has their own goal and is kind of driven by themselves rather than school kind of forcing them to choose a path. Yeah, that's a good point. So that way, people or kids would essentially wake up and be excited to go to school rather than maybe some kids aren't.
Yes.
So, that's a good way of thinking, and I think that if someday that gets implemented, I think who knows what the boundaries would be at that point in terms of academics and people's just average intelligence. So we'll see. Yeah, very interesting.
Okay.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Yeah.